All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
RWBY Volume 7, Chapter 7. 7-7.
Oh, yeah, nutty.
Okay, but
we
Illuminati
have Penny.
confirmed for real here, though, because...
Penny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Watts.
And Watts.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Penny, I feel really bad for her because this is... all of this has happened before and all this will happen again.
Yeah.
And it's going to be just like Beacon. Yay! And now we have this. And Jacques is...
well, I'm really interested to see how Jacques responds to all of this because he's in bed with some people he probably don't want to be in bed with. Even for him, you know.
Even for him.
So
there's that.
Yeah.
Ironwood is going to have to make a play here in the background, I would say. Primarily in the background. Like, he's going to need to figure out a way to, at the very least, keep, I would say, connections in Mantle strong before things get too out of hand. Another thing that he might end up doing is enacting some level of thing in order to shut down a lot of the craziness that could go there by actually like making at least a little bit of a pullback from Mantle. Well,
one other thing he could do too is if they have all the preparations underway, just let them know now, right? They're freaking out over this attack, then just tell them, all right, Salem's real. Basically, give them something bigger to freak out about.
I mean, that's definitely a thing, but I don't think their preparations are even close.
Yeah.
I think we're still...
yeah, and you definitely don't want to do that before you're ready.
But he needs to... essentially, what he needs to do is contact Robin Hill directly.
Yeah.
And be like, this wasn't us.
This is the situation.
We're being set up here. We need to at least tell you what's going on. We're under attack, basically.
Yeah.
And she might not believe him. But I think she's smart enough to then go, okay, there is some truth to what you're telling me here. But you're probably not telling me the full truth still. So whatever that is, I need you to work with me. So she'll make some demands like, okay, I need you to do these two things. And he'll be like, yeah, I can definitely do one of those, and I'll get to you on the second one or something like that.
If Ironwood actually eats humble pie when he's interacting with Robin... that would go a long way because he's not the kind of person that would do that, like not normally.
Yeah, he's kind of isolated himself in that regard, so he doesn't have anyone to eat humble pie in front of it other than Team RWBY and all of them. So that in some ways was the first step of that, so that we know, okay, Ironwood's doing a decent job, for what
it's
he
not
has
enough,
available to him.
but he is, his mind's in the right place.
Yes. Yeah, it's getting better, hopefully, because he's got now more people around him.
Right.
But this now escalated things.
Gonna get worse before it gets better.
And Jacob, they were telling me in the things that the thirsty moms got killed. Like, some of the thirsty moms were dead. Like things. Like, also, so we are aware that, there were not as many Faunus there, and Marrow being a dog can't see in the dark.
Right.
So
it wasn't. It's not like D&D 5th edition where randomly cats can't see in the dark because that's bogus.
Right. But Marrow's a dog. So.
Right. But he's a dog, so there you go.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep. And besides, no one would believe him anyways because he's one of Ironwood's operatives. So. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is more about the masses rather than Robin's specific team.
Exactly. Robin might be able to influence the masses, and that's why it's so important to contact her. But yeah.
But this is all going to leave a lot of stress and trauma on Penny, and by extension, all characters connected to Penny. So, without further ado, y'all, let's get into this. Keep dreaming about a better world. You keep wishing for some tragedy. That's just how it's going to sound for me from now on.
Yep. Well, and I thought we at least had, because of how they were setting up Atlas Academy, I thought it was going to be something where we would have a bit more time before Beacon 2.0 would be tried.
Now, maybe it hasn't hit the Academy yet, though.
That's true.
And honestly, if you're going to do some kind of, actual full-on invasion of Atlas with flying gorillas, you know.
Oh yeah.
Then you probably want to do some subterfuge and, you know,
right,
intrigue stuff before you know, commit all your forces.
Well, and also if it's something where the fighting lasts for a long time, that will help build up the idea of it being a war, not just a set of little battles here and there.
Yeah. However, if Ironwood's plan is just to nope up to the upper atmosphere, then yeah, we could actually see an extremely cool set piece of the flying gorillas literally flying up.
Oh yeah.
As it's leaving Atlas.
Right, and they have to like defend the
the launch essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Calling it. That's going to be a shot that they're going to like invest so much resources into.
Oh yeah.
Of just it launching off and like tons of flying up Grim and stuff like that. It's gonna be so cool. Oh, no salutations. Yeah. Oh, a head pat.
Yeah. Mechanical head pat.
Yes. To the mechanical.
Citizens of Mantle, following a most recent Grim attack, a temporary prohibition of assembly is now in effect. There are to be no public gatherings of any kind. Please conduct your business and return to your homes before curfew.
Oh,
this is
oh
for your
boy.
own safety.
Hey! Stop right there! Stop running! Wait!
No military officials have gone on record to say the footage was doctored. Many citizens are still insisting that the Protector of Mantle be deactivated.
whoa.
Yeah. You're right, yeah, because big deal if like the experts can figure out this is
clearly doctored.
Right.
That means it also looks like it's a thing of where you just doctored it again, you know.
Well, or you just have the experts in your pocket, right? You know.
Sure.
Civilian, you are obstructing an Atlas military operation. Please step aside.
Everything all right over here?
Whoa.
Whoa.
The what?
Hold on a sec.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
That's impressive.
That is very impressive.
This is her team, all right.
Yeah. What? No way.
This is the worst case scenario.
Oh!
4 people are dead, Penny's been framed, and somehow Jacques Schnee is sitting on the council.
That's the second shipment for Amity that was hit today. It seems election night was the last push Robin needed to go from hometown hero to full-on vigilante.
I'm afraid the problem is more complicated than that.
It seems Robin has emboldened our suppliers in Mantle. They're refusing to sell us provisions until the city is adequately repaired. With Robin redistributing the goods her team has stolen, the Amity project is completely stalled.
But we're so close.
Okay.
There has to be some way we can finish the tower.
There is.
Yeah.
Declaring martial law.
Yeah, no.
You're not
That's
actually considering that, are you?
What's more important? Establishing communication to unite the world? Or appeasing a few city blocks?
Don't make it sound trivial when you
yeah.
know it isn't. You keep talking about how we just need a little more time, but you're not the one having to struggle.
We have all had to make sacrifices for the greater good. Mantle has had to bear a lot of the burden, yes, but...
They're bearing all of it! The longer this waiting game goes on, the harder each day gets for people down there, and now you want to send in more soldiers? You can't force people to fall in line. If you do that, you'll just be trading all of these problems for the Grim.
Oh, that was a good line,
yeah,
Nora.
good monologue, Nora.
Well done.
Please, General Ironwood. Squeezing Mantle this way, that kind of division plays right into Salem's hands. That's why Tyrion is here framing you.
Right. The reason we called you here in the first place. You're sure this was the man you saw?
Yeah.
Tyrion Callows
oh boy.
Was accused of
They got a
murders
wiki
all
page
across
on him
Amity.
there.
A
Redacted stuff.
maniac who escaped justice when his prison transport was attacked by Grim. After that, he was never seen again.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
He works for Salem, and
Yeah.
he's here.
If we ever had any doubts Atlas was Salem's next target, I think those are officially out the window.
Yep.
But now we have a suspect.
We can tell the people.
That a long-lost serial killer is loose in Mantle and the military has no idea where he is. Might make things worse before they get better.
I am so sick of secrets. If we just told everyone about Amity, about Salem.
We can't. If we talk about Amity now, we risk Salem's forces, who we know are here, working to sabotage it. If we tell
but
them
they're
about
already
Salem,
sabotaging it.
They're not. They're not actually though. They're indirectly.
We have to finish the tower. I want Robin Hill in custody. We can offer her a deal if she gets Mantle to cooperate.
We'll figure it out.
Anyone not assisting with Robin needs to focus on Tyrion. I want to know who he's working with, where he's hiding, what he's planning, and how exactly that video of Penny got all over my kingdom.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Looks like we're approaching 51st.
Well, what I love about this is that it's not clear cut.
Yeah.
We may all be split between different trucks, but we need to be ready to act as one in case Robin's team takes the bait. If your truck is hit, pursue immediately.
Oh,
Everyone
nice.
else will move in as fast as possible.
So sing on.
Radio silent.
Cool.
Yep.
Over.
Do you think we should have told Ironwood about Salem?
We literally put them alone in a box together.
Sounds like you do.
I trust Ruby, but I think he deserves to know what he's stepping into. We all did.
Oh.
You don't agree?
Look around. The embargo, the military presence, the restrictions on assembly. He's a bit prone to overreacting.
Yeah, hard to argue with that. Still, he didn't have a lot of good options.
I'm not sure there are many good options left for any of us anymore. Keeping secrets, taking lives, it makes you wonder how far we're going to have to go to keep doing the right thing.
Blake, we did what we had to do.
Yeah, nice.
I know, but next time, I want to make sure we don't have to. And I can tell you, ambushing a huntress who's just trying to help isn't an option I'm thrilled about choosing.
Yeah.
Then maybe we shouldn't.
How is she doing?
Oh.
She's confused, scared. We'll have her recorded visual data shortly. That should prove her innocence, but the damage has already been done. The things people are saying about her. If Penny hadn't been there, Robin would be...
I don't think Robin was their target. Salem's goal has always been to divide us. I think Penny was exactly where they wanted her. Just like at the Vital Festival.
And just like back then, someone is using our own technology against us. This doctored footage of Penny came from her work all around Mantle. Stolen straight from our surveillance network.
Oh, brilliant, yeah.
Technology. Why can't people just do what they used to and fight to the death? A lot simpler if you ask me.
Well, if we're dealing with the same enemy from Beacon,
okay, Boomer.
The system would be simple. Fortunately, the rest of Atlas is running on an upgraded network.
And how would someone get access to that network?
Well, only a few people have clearance. Ironwood, the Council, our cybersecurity and surveillance leads, and maybe a select few who oversee critical systems like sewage or the heating grid.
The heating grid run in partnership with the Schneedas Company. What are you thinking? I don't know yet, but something isn't right.
Understatement of the century.
I like that, though.
How are you doing?
Another investigation kind of thing we can go into.
Weeks,
yeah.
Likely collapsed by
Feels
now.
very volume
Getting
1.
a communications tower into the sky seems impossible on its own, but now, to think of what people want to do to my girl.
Oh.
If the worst does happen, you can always reactivate her again. So maybe try not to worry so much.
There's a reason why Penny is the only one of her kind.
Oh. Yeah, you can't just deactivate, reactivate.
When the general first challenged us to find the next breakthrough in
Wow, is Watts' face being covered?
Most of my colleagues pursued more obvious choices.
Yeah.
I was one of the few. who believed in looking inward for inspiration.
You wanted a protector with a soul.
I did. And when General Ironwood saw her, he did too. Much to my surprise, the Penny Project was chosen over all the other proposals.
Why would you be surprised?
Move that right hand.
An artificial aura.
Move that right hand.
They haven't seen Watts, though.
Hasn't Weiss? Because she was captured.
You gave her part of yours?
Yes.
Oh,
and each time I rebuild Penny, it takes a little more. If the people get their wish and she's destroyed, I won't be able to...
What the hell? How does that work?
Yep.
We'll find whoever's responsible.
Jeez. I guess Weiss didn't see him yet, because he was just outside.
Well, that was before, anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Robin.
Scramble!
No, wait!
Split up and regroup at the hideout.
Okay, okay, yeah, good. All right.
Please stop. We just want to...
Oh, she's attacking. Well, this isn't gonna work well for you. Yeah. Oh, this is good! This is so good!
This is fluid.
If Ironwood wants me, he'll have to send more than a couple of kids.
He is. Stopping the trucks alerted the ASOPs. We don't have long before they arrive, so please listen to us. You need to know the truth.
You're stalling.
Amity Coliseum, all these supplies, they're for a new communications tower.
That doesn't make any sense.
A new tower means the kingdoms can
I know
finally...
what the tower means, fisticuffs. One of you take my hand.
What?
You said time is short. Either take it or I'm gone.
Wait.
What can she do?
Tell me again. What is Ironwood building out in the
It's
tunnel?
a truth semblance.
A new communications tower. He's trying to help everyone.
Whoa.
You're telling the truth.
Handy semblance.
Why keep that a secret?
Whoa.
He doesn't know who he can trust. Atlas isn't out to get anybody. The people murdering civilians in Mantle are just trying to make it look that way. And if those same people learned about Amity, they'd do everything in their power to destroy it.
So who are they? Who's actually behind this?
Yang, Blake, where are you?
We can't tell you that part yet.
Bullshit.
Look, we are investigating. Trust us when we say that Amity Tower needs to stay a secret until it's done. We just need a little more time.
Yeah, help us help you.
Yeah.
We'll throw them off.
I won't stop until I know the whole truth.
Yeah, that sounds like you, Yang.
Yeah.
Talking to Oz, your mom.
Right behind that door.
The Staff of Creation.
Oh.
I hoped bring you down here might jog some memories. After all, it was your idea to use the staff to lift Atlas off the ground.
I thought gravity dust kept Atlas afloat.
That's the public story. But with the staff, we have a constant, seemingly limitless energy source.
Oh my god!
I speculated it could take us as high as we wanted. To tell you the truth, that served as the inspiration for the Amity Project. Get a communication tower up in the sky, higher than the Grim can survive. So we never lose contact with each other again.
But you're not using the staff to raise Amity.
The staff can only be used for one purpose at a time. We're going to have to do Amity the old-fashioned way, dust and all.
Whoa.
It feels strange. Knowing
Oh my
part
god.
of me helps come up with all this.
You'll get used to it.
If anyone gets their hands on the Staff of Creation and uses it for something else, Atlas falls.
Yep.
Right.
We did know we see eye to eye. But I wish I could ask Ospin what he thought of all this.
Well, I can tell you what I think. The path you're heading down, where you're the only one with the answers, where you do the thing you think is right no matter the cost, it's not going to take you anywhere good.
We have to stop Salem. Nothing matters more.
Some things matter more, I think.
Yeah, not
Our
much,
humanity.
but maybe.
It's what makes us different from her.
Wow.
Sometimes I worry that's her greatest advantage. Without humanity, does she still feel fear? Does she ever hesitate?
Yeah.
When Salem hit Beacon, even with all my ships, all of my soldiers,
I love this.
I was no match for her.
Yeah.
I've never felt so helpless. The way she told me she was there.
Whoa. Whoa. That was a brilliant.
That was wonderful.
Brilliant choice, Ruby. Well done.
That was fantastic.
You just can't let that fear control you.
I am not going to end up like Lionheart. Do you believe in me?
I do believe in you. But not only you. I think the best thing you could do is sit down and talk with the people you're most afraid to.
Whoa.
Now you are starting to sound like
Yeah. Yeah. That was straight up an Oz line right there.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh boy.
There's actually two things so far in this episode that I want to take a microscope to. And they're in the very beginning. But okay, Penny.
Winter. What is it?
Oh, Schnee Dust Company. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What's going on?
It looks like you're getting your wish.
My father's first act.
Oh.
We've all been invited to dinner.
Oh.
The general will be defending his seat on the council.
Oh. Interesting.
Oh.
Huh. Okay.
Good this was.
Yeah.
Excited I am.
Me too.
This was a clever move because they couldn't have known that she had some kind of semblance that would help with this. Because there's not really much they could do.
Right.
But given that it didn't seem like Robin was ever really in any serious danger of getting caught, the most they probably would have been able to do is just maybe hamper her a little bit and maybe have her call in some of her friends to help her get out.
Right.
Because it was 2-on-1, but wow.
Okay.
That was a brilliant episode.
Amazing.
All right.
Whoa.
Well,
Okay.
that's a development.
It is indeed.
I have a couple questions here. Holy crap.
You sure?
Holy crap.
Just a couple?
We have some really crazy cool semblances shown off.
Definitely.
All of a sudden here for Robin and her, what are they called? The Happy Huntresses?
I don't
the Happy
know.
Hunter. Yeah, I think that's what they are. And we have an invisibility dome.
Which is amazing.
Semblance. Which,
jeez.
I think that's just a little strong. Okay.
Just a little bit.
But remember, she had a team specifically, so this makes sense that she would have a lot of people that are really good. But then we have the other one who's the Lamb Faunus with
Ant-Man Sands of Time stuff. Just
pocket dimension. Like, hey, I mean, if Marrow has a Zawardo limited stop time kind of thing, we need semblances that are actually strong.
Well,
and this is the other thing. Atlas probably has some knowledge about how aura works to where they specifically help people enhance
develop
their semblances
and whatnot. Yeah,
to be ridiculously strong.
But I thought originally that was some kind of trace on something or other where they were analyzing the thing. No. It's just disappearing into her little hand pocket dimension. What?
Yeah.
Can she do that to people? There we go. That's how we stop Salem.
Well, I would say that there's some limitation. It took a lot of time for her to do it to a specific thing. It's probably only non-living objects or something like that to stop that thing there. But the other semblance that I find actually one of my favorite ones in terms of a writing perspective is you give a character perfect perspective, which is they can see the truth of something if certain conditions are met. Which this one is they make a statement, and while she's holding their hand, there's an aura transfer exchange, then, you know, she knows whether or not they're telling the truth.
Yep.
Now, what's really cool about this is that because of Yang and Blake's agency as characters who can think on their own, you know, and figure out a way to do this properly, they come up with a, hey, wait a minute. We can be a salve on this, you know, wound that's festering between Mantle and Atlas via some clever thinking here. And it gets rewarded because freaking Robin Hill has a Pakunoda lie detector. Was
it Pakunoda had that?
Yeah. She'd like touch them and she could tell whether or not they were, telling the truth. Right. Because she would search their memories.
Yes, basically. That's right. Yep. Yeah. So, and now the fact that she has this is crazy, because that means literally if Ironwood were to just sit down and talk with her, it could actually be all solved.
Would really help,
right? Like,
he doesn't have to, because all they need is someone that, at the very least, has a perception on things that Ironwood is doing, and then they talk to Robin Hill.
Sure.
Which means that literally any of the Aesops talking to her solves the whole thing there.
Yep.
But I also want to go back in some ways to the Clover and Robin Hill conversation when they were blocking the transport car.
Yeah, because that puts
back at the canyon.
Whole new set of
because
context.
I think
on that.
he knew in some ways that there was some way that she always seemed to know what was going on, but he maybe didn't know that she had to be touching him or something.
Sure.
So he was like avoiding answering questions and stuff like that in a way that gave no additional information. Because maybe there's some aspect of it. I mean, I'm probably guessing it's only touch.
Yeah.
Okay, so that being said, I think that the conversation might require a little bit of looking at, but given that the distance thing was a thing, it might have been might not apply as much.
One of the things that I really like this episode is how much they focused on the characters again, right? You know, because they've been doing that a lot this volume, but with how they're responding to each of the things that are happening here.
Yes,
and how connected they are. Like in Ironwood's office, for instance,
Nora.
Your monologue was absolutely amazing and fantastic.
Samantha, freaking Ireland, killing it.
Yep. I did not expect that.
No.
It was wonderful.
No.
And one of the things that made it even better was that Ironwood listened.
Yep.
It didn't completely change his perspective.
No.
But it was something where you could tell that Nora's words reached him, right?
Yes.
And that's something where we can have this conflict within Ironwood be an actual conflict, right? Because we don't necessarily know what he's going to do one way or the other. We know that he's going to mess up in some areas. We know that he's going to do pretty well in others. And we have these people alongside him that are, you know, hoping that he'll do the right thing and make the right call.
Right.
Yeah. I love it. I love it so much. And yeah, I mean, that whole speech was fantastic.
Was amazing.
Yep.
Yes. One of the things that I would very much like to see in this next upcoming episode, because we've got a cliffhanger of sorts regarding a special dinner of sorts that Jacques Schnee is inviting Ironwood to.
Yep.
Where he'll defend his seat on the council?
Right. I have no idea what that means exactly. Like, if there's any legitimacy to, like, if this doesn't go well, you're off the council or something, or if it's simply like
all the council members will be there,
right?
And there will be discussions held,
or assassinations. Like, who knows?
Yeah. That's something more that we can just guarantee in terms of not assassinations, but specifically subterfuge, because we know Watts is there,
right?
Even if Watts is literally not there physically, Watts' influence
is there. Tyrion could be there for all we know.
Like Tyrion wouldn't be anywhere. He's a bull in a china shop. He's not going to be 1,000 feet from this dinner party.
Unless it comes into now that we've gathered you all here, you know, into one
locks the
location.
doors and puts a whole bunch of people with powerful semblances.
Well, okay, maybe not.
No.
Maybe not. But
no.
Yeah.
No, this is where you do the political stuff. This is where you do the things where you do some posturing. This is where you make Ironwood accidentally snap.
Right.
And how I'm doing this for all of you. And then they're like, you're becoming unhinged.
Right, because this isn't for Jacques. This isn't for Ironwood.
Yeah.
This is probably going to be for the other people present, whether that's the council members or whatever.
Right.
You know, and then,
The interesting thing is, I wonder who of the other characters will be invited. I'm guessing Winter will be.
I'm
guessing
Schnee.
well, I'm guessing Mama Schnee will be there, but she might not actually be present to much of the things.
Yeah, and she might not have a big part to play, but we'll probably see her.
What I'm interested to see is, will Weiss be brought into this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, a family
Weiss,
dinner.
Well, right, but will then Weiss then be able to bring in other members of her team?
Sure.
Or will it be like, no, you're not on the guest list, you can't enter?
Right. Well, but what I see here is even more opportunity for Weiss to be queen, and also for it to come full circle from Volume 4 when Ironwood helped her out at the gala, right?
Yeah.
Now I want to see Weiss come around and help Ironwood, and that.
Okay, we got some world building though this episode. Penny,
we did.
Penny, the way that she was made was one that had a team of people around her.
Yeah.
And there were people that were looking at this from the mechanical standpoint, but her
she's
father...
a Horcrux, basically.
Yes, but her father, and the reason why he is technically her father, has nothing to do with biological DNA connection or anything like that. It's aura. It's specifically him giving a piece of his soul, because this is Atlas and we can do things with aura. He's like, Atlas has made significant strides in the manipulation of aura. What it is, how to use it, how to, yeah. What does that mean? Well, what do you mean you gave a piece of your soul to, and I can't do it again, otherwise, wait, what? So this is a thing of where it's like, no, he could, but then he might die or something? Like,
probably.
Will he become an inert husk with no soul? Like,
right, and that's probably
is this going all Kingdom Hearts where we're going to have the Heartless and we'll have someone with no soul aura? I mean, that's a new type of...
Hey, maybe at that
it'll turn into a Grim, or I don't know. I don't know. There's some dumb theories in my head, and I'm just spouting off some of them.
Yeah. But I mean, there's lots of things that can happen, and that introduces a whole bunch of well, certainly it increases the stakes on Penny's safety.
Yeah, and you can't just deactivate her and reactivate her, Ruby. Like, I get it that if she's a robot,
she has a power button.
It's fine. Yeah, but this is more like what I'm thinking of is factory resetting your hard drive without backing up anything. You can't just do that.
Yeah, I don't.
You gotta save those files. There are pictures in there that are tied to specific memories and things.
I don't think it's that, because otherwise Penny would have.
No, I think that's the best case scenario. That's why this episode is titled the worst case scenario.
Wait, the best case scenario is
a factory reset.
No, because wait, hold on, wait.
Where she loses her soul, essentially.
No, because the reason I don't think that would happen is because otherwise
I don't think that would happen. I think it's worse than that.
Well,
I think it's that if she gets deactivated, she'll never get reactivated.
Okay. I'm pretty sure they confirmed that wouldn't be an issue.
Okay. And what is your insight?
Because I thought for a second she was deactivated for a bit in that episode, where they're like, if we ever, reactivate her or something, right? And she was in like processing mode.
No. They're literally just putting her into basically the equivalent of like a regeneration stasis pod of sorts, so
and
she
syncing her memories with the computer or whatever to download her.
That's the main reason she's in there, and it's probably also a form of meditation so that she can decompress and de-stress from the whole situation.
The reason why I think the deactivating thing, there wouldn't be as much of an issue if she was deactivated and they restarted her through like the soul aura transfer thing or whatever it is that is, and whether that's the same as deactivation equal death or whether it's just turning her off for a little while and then turning her back on. I don't know. But if it's something where she dies, I think at the very least she would still retain her memories because she died when with the whole thing with the Vital Festival originally, and she still remembered Ruby afterwards.
Yes. Okay. But I'm saying because in order for him to do that, he had to give up some of his aura, and he said he can't do that again.
Right.
Meaning that she wouldn't come back, at the very least, the same. Either that is the best case scenario, or the worst case scenario is she never comes back.
Right.
So my spectrum of this is that she comes back no matter what. That's the thing. The best case scenario is that she comes back, in my opinion, and it either negatively affects her or affects Pietro.
Right, like she dies and he's able to bring her back, but he has to give his own life to do it or something like that.
Or she comes back, he's able to figure out a way to make it work, but because he's not able to give enough or something like that, it makes it so that she doesn't come back the same as before.
Sure.
That's the best case scenario, in my opinion, is one of those two. The way it gets worse is that it combines both of them, and she still comes back. And it goes all the way down the level of the spectrum, all the way to the very worst, which is she cannot come back. Like, in any way, shape, or manner. And I don't think that the worst case scenario is going to happen in terms of odds, but I think...
For the other parts of the episode, one of the things that I really, really appreciated was all the stuff with Blake and Yang. That was really good.
Yeah.
While I'm sure having them locked alone in a box together has had maybe some potential other implications.
That wasn't what I was implying.
By the
way. I was implying that, like, we literally need to have more just foundation for relationship stuff. We need more of them just talking.
Right,
Because when you put two characters in a box, the only thing they can do is talk.
Exactly, yep.
And that's
right. So the fact that they did that was fantastic, and the way they both had their differing opinions, I'm like, well, yeah, this is a really big issue, and the parallels of, like, you know, Blake being like, yeah, but these people, they need to have a voice, right? Because that's where she was at, right?
Right.
And then Yang's like, yeah, but Ironwood really doesn't have, you know, like he's doing his best. He's not, you know, like there's some issues, but you know, but he's actually trying, you know, and that whole conversation there, I love it, because it's showing how the deterioration mentally and emotionally of one character who isn't even super strongly tied to our main cast,
their stories,
their stories, right? Ironwood has big plot implications, right? But just the idea of how one person not doing well does have a big impact on the people around them, right?
Yep.
So that was really cool.
And that ties in really well to what our boy Oscar was talking about with Ironwood. We'll get to the relic stuff eventually. But specifically, his conversation surrounding how there are things more important than defeating Salem. Now, here's something that's rather interesting about defeating Salem, is that, you know, you've got to find a way to do it. But the best way to do it is one that goes into gods and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Right.
So that's obviously not where we're kind of going at this from these two characters' perspective here. But if you had to weigh certain aspects of humanity versus a, you know, unstoppable threat, you know, and you actually looked at it from a grand perspective, you tried to pull out all your ego and personal value, like life and all that stuff out of it. Yeah, humanity has some really cool things, I would say, that outweigh, you know, defeating a threat that, while it might seem very eternal darkness and horrible, all that awfulness and what have you, you can start to see where, that little bit of Ozpin bleeding through and Oscar is actually reaching Ironwood too. So I'm very excited about these two spending time together, because I think Ozpin's not. I think Ozpin's listening.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it is silly to assume that Ozpin is in some kind of dormant cocoon, like I am ignoring the world kind of state. I think it's very likely that he is he's listening.
He's sipping coffee and just sort of, you know, peeking over,
maybe doing his
Oscar's
own form
shoulder.
of decompression, like Penny is, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
yeah,
trying to come back to the group with something useful rather than just his own doom and gloom, despair kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it probably takes him a lot longer than most people, because he's been around for a very long time.
And he's not in any rush.
Fair point.
Given his own state of things. In a lot of ways, this might be part of the insidious stuff, in that Ozpin is quiet because he's working his way into Oscar. So these little things where he's saying things that sound like Ozpin are meant to be on the surface rather wholesome, but are part of the signal that, this is how it works. Regardless of what you do, Oscar, eventually you will be merged into the Ozpin collective, and you will be Ozpin and Ozpin will
Right.
be you.
And
it
the
won't be
question-
that you completely disappear necessarily, but you will be
Right.
subsumed.
Yeah, because and how much of it is Oscar being the next iteration,
right,
versus like the whole idea of the hive mind where it gets too big that it can't ever really change,
right?
Because, well, it's got yeah,
it's got so many parts to it at this.
It's
point.
got so many parts to it. Anything
You're
else
a
is just
cog now.
a drop in the ocean. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So, well, we have that to look forward to.
Yeah.
Another thing.
Yeah.
The Relic of Creation.
Yep.
The Staff of Creation.
Right.
Okay. Awesome. I think we all knew that Atlas had the Relic of Creation,
and
like
that
once they
had
revealed them
used
all.
it,
Right. Once we had them revealed in Volume 4, it didn't take a lot of genius to go,
where's the creation one?
I think the creation one makes sense to be in the one that's been freaking going crazy with scientific advancements and stuff.
No, the creation one is in Vacuo.
Well, no, there was a little bit of debate whether or not the Relic of Knowledge would be in Atlas. But I mean like a very small sliver. Because they're like, knowledge,
Science.
But the thing is that knowledge is not necessarily applied.
Right.
Knowledge is just there. It is not necessarily wisdom.
Yeah. But
so in the case of creation, that is something where you need to see it. It will be visually apparent. And we look at Atlas and oh my god, yeah, they be using it.
But there's a slight problem.
Yep. A nice little limitation.
It's a channeled effect.
Yes.
It's not actually creation.
No.
Because the problem is that usually when you think of creation, there's a separation, right? And the thing becomes able to exist on its own, right?
Yeah.
This apparently is not that.
Well, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's Jake. The reason why they were using it originally was to do all their technological stuff. So it was creative energy. It was a limitless source of energy.
Right.
But now we have something that is literally defying the laws of nature constantly.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, it needs to be a channeled effect.
I guess
Come on.
Well, no. But
I know what you mean,
No, but it's not something that creates a bunch of like rocket engines that are on the bottom of Atlas that are then able to keep Atlas up. I mean, maybe that's how it works.
Maybe they looked at that and they're like, there is physically no way we can see how we could make something that would legitimately keep Atlas afloat. So we're going to concoct this conspiracy theory thing of, yes, we have manipulated gravity dust in a really insane way that we don't tell anyone about. And it's like, yeah, that's cool and all. But no, there's no way, even with gravity dust, which is basically like science magic, that we could do this. We need literally god powers in order to hover an island above.
But the problem here is that now, like, there are flags, and then there are flaming, like, waving back and forth and hollering like a madman flags.
Yeah, it's Atlas collapses when the relic is tampered with.
Yep.
This is problem. But what I like about this, what I think is genius about this, from Ozpin, I'm getting into Ozpin's head here.
Yeah.
He's thinking about this kingdom. And he's like, there are tons of people here that need to be protected, right?
Yeah.
But think about this. In order for them to be protected, he then goes, okay, we need to use the relic as a means by which they can be protected. We'll keep them up in the sky.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. But here's the thing. The relic has a lot of power tied to it. We need to make sure it doesn't be used in a way that, ends up hurting its own people that it's there to protect.
Sure.
So we'll make it so if it's ever used for anything else, the people will be wiped out. So it's literally a check against the corruptive nature of power that a limitless source of power would get. So it's brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
You can't abuse its power because it's literally there keeping society in check.
Threat of nuclear destruction, It's
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't we come up with a crazy idea when we were spitballing earlier?
It's not a crazy idea. A lot of people have had this idea that Atlas would be dumped on Mantle when Salem attacked it.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about that?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But lots of people in the fandom.
But specifically, this is how we can defeat Salem. Throw a big rock on top of her.
Well, here's actually the really dark and depressing thing. Is that, oh no, it's stalled. Amity cannot be raised up. If only there was a way we could cheat the system and take the quicker, easier, more seductive route.
That would destroy all of Atlas. It would destroy all of Mantle. Like,
yes. And Ironwood's priority is that nothing is more important than stopping Salem. So he might do a thing where it's like, guys, abandon this kingdom. We're going to take a bunch of you on the ark, so to speak.
Oh, jeez.
But everyone else, Salem is real. Salem is coming. We need you all to flee. This kingdom is doomed.
That would be...
And I'm telling you, it might come down to that, not because of Ironwood's desire for power, or even that he feels like this is the only way he can get Amity Arena online. It might come down to a split-second decision where it's, Salem's here, and she's going to get Amity.
Yeah. She's won, basically. All right.
This is our
fail-safe.
Our fail-safe button.
Self-destruct. Everything must go. Yeah.
And here's the thing. It could work really well. But imagine what happens then when 50% of now the kingdoms have been wiped out. And 1/4 of them is also completely gimped because Salem had been working on them for a long time. And it's just vacuo and a thing hovering in the sky. That's not a lot of humanity to communicate with.
No, it's not.
Now, Haven is getting back into the state of things rather well.
But if, like, okay, I don't know how high up Atlas is.
High enough.
High enough. So
I would say a mile.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not really that high in terms of atmosphere. So everyone can walk around, and 5,000 feet in the sky. The air is going to be a little thin, but I would say not really much at all.
It's like you're on a big mountain. Like,
no, you're on a small mountain. Like, mountains are anything above 3,000 feet. So
you're on a small mountain.
You're on a average small.
There's a reason that, as scary as nukes are, a tungsten rod taken up into space and just dropped, right, is way more devastating.
Yeah.
This is a city?
Yeah. Thankfully, it is literally keeping everything in check, and the only way they would do that, in my opinion, is the enemy is at the gates. Mantle is already lost.
Right.
Atlas is going to be next, and they all have a bunch of ships. So maybe he's already got certain contingencies in plan for this, but I think it is not a coincidence that at the midpoint of Volume 7, in a 2-volume arc, at least 2-volume arc, I believe they said at RTX for the whole Atlas setup of things, this is early enough that you've set up now the DEFCON 1 button.
This is the big red button. We never, ever, 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 ever press this button. Why is this button here then?
To be pressed.
Yeah. But never, ever, 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 ever. Oh boy.
Yeah. However, what's exciting here is as Ironwood slowly starts to get more and more frayed and literally afraid. I'm seeing actually really good moments here where the characters on the sidelines are actually influencing him.
Yep.
And as things come down to, I would say, tough decisions, like that, I actually do kind of trust the other characters to be able to make important decisions here. And Yang and Blake are the example of that. Given that they are unsupervised, it makes it easier for them to make this decision.
And they might have some fairly legit consequences in the negative from this because, 1, you didn't go after them. 2, you gave them some pretty vital information. Now they kept most of the important stuff.
They did keep most of the important stuff there.
But that's still something where there was definitely a breach of trust at the very least, right? Now maybe it'll turn out all right, given the way that Robin responded of, I need to know the whole truth before I'll do anything. Like, maybe it not only wasn't enough, but it's not going to change anything until she gets that extra bit, right? What she seemed
that
to
is
be
what
saying.
she said, but I think that she's genuinely like going to be investigating this with her team and being like, hey, does this match up?
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that they've been prepping, does it seem like it would be something that could be for a communication tower?
Yeah.
And if so, can you maybe determine the location of where it is? And they're like, yeah, there's this area that he's been starting to cordon off as like we don't go in this area there. It's like, okay, brilliant. All right. I'm going to make a deal with Ironwood
right,
and make this maybe a little bit more demanding. And the only thing I could see being a really big problem is that in her desire to get the full truth, she ends up accidentally leaking the info to Salem's people.
Sure.
And therefore that forces Salem's hand to attack maybe earlier than she would have wanted, which might end up being a good thing in the long term.
Potentially,
but I think this is one of those story moments that is a chain reaction that starts a whole bunch of other events.
One thing that they did say, that Blake did say, that is very important here, is that he's trying to get communications back online with the world. That, if Robin thinks about that for a minute, that says a few things that are very important. One, he's not thinking about Atlas as just Atlas.
Yes.
Right?
Well, she said he's trying to help everyone.
Right, he's trying to help everyone.
I love that she added that there to clarify, because that gets roped in with the whole truth.
It gives intent, right? That is Ironwood's intent. How he goes about doing that, you guys can have a great conversation about that, right? And try
bullshit. Okay, I'm telling you. I love that little censoring thing there.
That was fantastic. That was great. But the idea that this is something that is a legitimate if you're wanting to get the world united and be fighting a common enemy, you need communication. That was the biggest thing that they lost with Beacon. Because
they had a really dumb system.
A really dumb system that was set up to be poetic. Yeah.
So I guess that's it. This episode, Ren,
yes,
Ren. So I think I have an interpretation for his arc that's going on right now that makes sense.
Yeah,
his semblance is evolving.
Sure,
he is casting his semblance outward more. So he is sensing is not about his own emotions being in check now. He is probably sensing the other emotions of people there, and he's not really doing so well with that. So as part of his evolution, he needs to figure out how to maintain his Zen balance despite getting all this extra input. I'm saying this as someone who personally experiences this on a daily basis. I know kind of what he might be dealing with here, is that he's simplifying. He's simplifying his life a little bit too much, and that leads to him being cold towards people that he really cares about.
Sure.
But the full evolution of this is once he's dealt with his internal stuff, he'll then be really honest with Nora and say, I'm scared. I'm really scared right now, and I don't feel like I'm going to be able to protect you if we don't follow what he's doing here. And then she's going to be like, why the hell didn't you say that, Ren? You baka! And then she's just going to beat the crap out of him, and he's just going to hold her tight, and it's going to be the sweetest thing. But he needs to get that punching baka stuff there, because I think that's what's going on here. He is unable to deal with certain emotions properly because he's zened himself out of certain emotions. That's why he is acting in some ways a little, like the way he's acting right now. And then in the third way, it is something that will be tied specifically to his semblance evolving, which will be that he'll then become a Miraluka. I'm full on sensing that he's going to be you know what I want to see at the dinner thing?
Oh, yeah.
He's just gonna poof, and then there'll be people that'll pop up red, there'll pop up blue, purple, whatever, and he'll be like, "Wait, why did these people specifically have some kind of
he'll be in his passive insight 32 and just be like,
insight check,
I think
all your secrets
belong to me.
It's starting off right now in a little bit of a radar thing where he could tell when they had entered the room before anyone else could, even though he was in a meditative state.
I am so excited, so excited for Thanksgiving with the Schnees. This is gonna be great.
No, it's gonna be way more awkward than that.
Oh,
it's gonna be way more awkward. There won't be any giving thanks.
No. What made you think there ever that was ever part of the equation?
Because in my mind, Thanksgiving is way more of a jovial time with a lot more fun, and this is going to be way more stiff.
And
this is weird dress and stuff. But outfit changes for certain characters, or outfit kind of stuff would be rather fun.
And more importantly, it's more opportunity
for Weiss
to be queen specifically to the demise of Jacques and little Shitley. And
it is Jacques. I've been calling him Jacques as someone who does know some French. I should
Jacques
is just Jacques. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But the point is that is going to be so awesome. I'm so excited. I really hope it comes full circle with her like standing up for Ironwood and all that stuff.
It's going to.
And like who knows how many other characters are there? Characters we already know, characters we haven't been introduced to yet, the other council members, you know, Mrs. Schnee, like
returning characters.
Yep. Oh boy. And does it actually stay as just a talk?
I want Discount Neptune to show up again. And he's gonna like side with Weiss at some point because he's gonna be like, yeah, I came around, you know. I was being a freaking you know, whatever or something like that. Yeah.
If it does turn into something, because okay, this is one of the other things that I really want to see.
What's that?
Is to see Jacques out of his depth.
Right. He already is.
We already
showed him that the minute Watts walked in the room. He was like, son, go to your room.
Totally. I want to see him squirm because of that. I want to see
even more.
Even more.
Okay.
I want to see there be something where they start to realize,
you're not even,
you know,
you're not even really.
Yeah, and there could be something where he's trying to still spin it, right? He's still trying to come out on top from all of this, but there's this idea, and maybe Weiss picks this up from Whitley. Where Whitley's scared. Whitley's like, Whitley's like,
that's a good theory. I like that.
This isn't good. Like, slides a napkin over. Help us. You know, like there's so many, and even if they don't do that, because they don't have to, right?
No.
But that opportunity is there. Right.
Here's an even greater way to do this.
What?
You know how Shitley has been rather kind of cold towards
everyone,
basically all the women in his family. What if we find out actually where he's got his own ego stuff, so he's not really as worried about himself or his father. But what if he's like, hey, get mother out of this?
Sure.
So it's a thing of where he realizes that, hey, I'm smart. I can handle this. I'll be okay.
Right.
But I don't want my mother near any of this.
Like,
here.
There's so much opportunity to throw that little bit of hesitancy, you know, regret, like other dimensionality to these awful characters, right, that are going to be here. I can't wait to see what they decide to do.
Yep.
It's going to be so good.
That's RWBY, Volume 7, Chapter 7. Thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction discussion in a timer format, so that's no show footage because we are respectful of Rooster Teeth's content deals and stuff like that, because they love us reaction channels, but they don't want us to do anything like that. Go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get to watch the next episode's reaction a little bit past when it comes out on Rooster Teeth first, because recording and all that. But then you'll get to be involved in the discussion on that, potentially on our Discord, which any level of support gets you access to, where you can chat with us about RWBY, talk theories, because it's, you know, happening week by week. We're with you guys. We don't know what's going to happen next, and it's like, what's like, all that stuff. So, be sure to check that out if you're interested. And you can also check out Jacob's sci-fi novel that he wrote recently.
Yeah, that's right. If you haven't heard of it before, I don't know how that happened, but my sci-fi novel, it's called Battle Lines. It's awesome. It's available for purchase on Amazon. Link in the description. It's in both hardback and ebook, whichever works best for you. Go check it out.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.